You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Most of us, when we find out we're expecting a child, imagine the perfect scenario. But for many women, the pregnancy doesn't go smoothly and they may deliver early or there may be medical complications. The image that they had pretty quickly gets put aside.
No family ever expects to be in a situation. You just don't think it'll happen to you.
For 7 days, we couldn't
7
touch
days?
her or hold her, yeah.
Yeah. We was just happy she was alive and breathing.
Blythedale Children's Hospital is one of 19 specialty children's hospitals in the United States, the only one in New York.
The way that Blythedale is perceived by the outside medical community has grown in leaps and bounds. And so we're getting more complex, often sicker patients being released from the NICU or PICU because they have confidence in us.
Our babies are tiny and critical, and it really does take a comprehensive approach to making sure that they are supported in all aspects while they're here.
The emphasis is on getting the families and the children ready to go home.
Blythedale is committed to looking outside the box to enhance the lives of the patients that come here.
Our outcomes speak for themselves.
Allure was born at 23 weeks, so 1 pound, 7 ounces. 23 weekers, most of them don't survive. It was scary, so we just prayed and just take it a day at a time.
Babies at 23 weeks probably have almost a 90% chance of having this chronic lung disease developing, which Allure did have.
Because her lung disease was so severe, ended up having to be transferred to CHOP in Philadelphia before they were able to send her to Blythedale. Because of the complexity of some of the ventilators that we have, we're able to take children who in previous years would not have been able to come out of the NICU. With a core group of respiratory therapists and core group of physicians and nurses, Blythedale is often considered the go-to place for vent weaning.
The baby with lung disease has an excellent chance for recovery as long as we can provide a safe environment for a baby and provide nutrition and get the baby to grow during this unstable period.
And I heard about Allure for a really long time because her mom works here.
When her day of work is done, she changes her figural hat and goes to be mom for Allure.
When I started working at Blythedale, I would see kids come in like really, really sick, and within 2 to 3 weeks, their improvement just got so much better. When I saw that, it was like, I gotta get Allure here. And they just work really hard to make sure that these kids can go home.
The mother and I will have this tug of war a little bit because the mother wants her home and I'm too conservative to send her home. But this mom knows how to take care of the baby.
Mom's a rock star. Mom knows Allure inside and out.
Since the day she was born till now, a lot of stuff that they told me she wouldn't be able to do, she is doing it and more.
To know that there's 24/7 physicians in-house, that we're 100% RN staffed, helps alleviate some of the fears that these families have in coming. It is a huge, wonderful thing that we're able to do for families.
At Blythedale, we have every discipline involved in every child's care.
We have weekly meetings, daily meetings. Based on that, we can make fairly nimble changes to the care plan in order to maximize the child's potential.
Most of the babies that come to the infant floor fall into like 3 categories. The most common are babies who were premature and have chronic lung disease. The second major area are babies that have brain injury problems. And the third are cardiac patients.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Faith was born with what's called cyanotic congenital heart disease. She's not getting enough oxygen pumping to the blood. She's already had one very intense cardiac surgical procedure before she came to Blythedale.
She's at Blythedale for her to get bigger and stronger for her next cardiac procedures.
It's a hard road with interruption in their nutrition, in their developmental care, and that's where Blythedale really comes in to help.
She has really done beautifully here at Blythedale and has made wonderful gains in her therapies.
46% of our population is under the age of 1. When you think about how critical the first year of life is, it's tremendous. Babies are exploring, they're learning about their environment. The infant program is our vehicle to infuse that developmental care.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
It's a riot to see these little ones sitting in their chair, looking at everybody, playing with their toys.
We have babies be babies, and we get them up and we get them dressed and we get them out of their rooms. Therapists will work with them, a developmental specialist, child life specialist as well. Leadership supports these vital programs that they know are crucial in the care and recovery of these patients.
The developmental programs that we have are essential to really treating the whole child.
Most of these families have been living the hospital life for 6 to 9 months. They've never taken their baby home. We want to make them feel like they have a typical child, a child that goes to school, interacts with other children, listens to music.
Hello, Gia, hello.
The music started because she was actually in school. Julie, the music therapist, was just playing music, and Gia just could not cut contact with her. She just loved it.
Giovanna was quite ill. Her parents, in fact, were told to make arrangements. They didn't think that she was going to survive. But Giovanna had different ideas.
Giovanna means God's gracious gift.
She suffered from a very rare complication of pregnancy in which there was what's called a fetal maternal hemorrhage.
Where instead of her taking my blood, she was giving me her blood.
And she lost about 80% of her blood at birth, and she had to have 3 transfusions. And that was just the beginning of a really long journey.
Her neurologic status was so severe, there were questions about whether or not support should be withdrawn.
We were told that she was definitively going to die, and to get our things in order, we planned her funeral, picked out a plot. I had her sister come and meet her, say goodbye to her. And then that night, she started breathing again, and her heart rate returned to normal. Several days later, her vitals were good, and we were transferred to Blythedale.
She gets expert care from the developmentalists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and feeding therapists. She's also monitored carefully by our neurologist as well as myself.
Day by day, she has gotten stronger. She's able to feed better. She's neurologically more alert, more interactive.
She's an amazing girl. She really is. She's been fighting since the day she was born. She's just been fighting.
This is the child who they were told may not live. And so now, not only do they have a child that is alive, but is alive and thriving.
I counted at one point 16 wires coming out of her. She'll go home with one, but it's not permanent. She pulls it out all the time, her feeding tube. That alone has been, a miracle in itself.
We just prayed for help. Just give us help, and we got Blythedale.
When Mom first came here, she was so scared of the NG tube. With our sim lab, Mom is able to practice inserting the NG tube on a mannequin.
The training that we do here is so crucial, and it needs to be so thorough and complete for every family. Even though we will put supports in place, there will be times when they are home with their child and they will need to be able to be the first responder.
What's important for the airway?
Suction.
Suction.
They keep coming back, making sure that you got it. So when it's time to go home, she is safe.
Mom's 110% confident. I'm maybe around 85 to 90 because all the time Mom's like, let me do it, let me do it.
Don't say that.
You pretty much done? You good? Okay, good. I think so too.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side?
Blythedale offers hope. They just offer hope to families.
If you thought that you really couldn't look to a better day, I think it would be really hard to continue to provide the love and the attention and the commitment that our families do.
So I am so lucky and proud to be part of an organization that is so committed to working and advancing the lives of children with complex medical needs.
These programs are vital to the comprehensive care that we provide. If you did not have these types of programs in a hospital setting, it would truly impact the overall developmental status of our children.
The more services she gets, the more things she learns because each person teaches her something different.
And if it should cut down or go away, she's gonna stop. The progress with her will stop.
Those things cost money. Those things take extra time. Those things take extra staff.
Financial subsidy of places like Blythedale is extremely important. Bottom line is if there wasn't that kind of help, these babies would die. Simple as that.
One of the huge areas of success that we see here at Blythedale is being able to help a family bring their child home. We are so proud to be able to say that 91% of our patients are discharged to home.
And think about like just even this interview with being able to tell your story. The first few weeks at Blythedale, we could not get through that story. You know,
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, we just couldn't get through it, couldn't process it. With hope, it's easier to tell it. You know, I think that's what we've gotten here. We've gotten a lot of hope, and we can get through our story, and hoping our story has a positive ending, and it already has.
The most gratifying aspect is just simply watching a family enjoy the smile of their baby's face.
There's not enough thank yous. There's not enough words to say how much we appreciate everything that they have done. I remember thinking that I don't know if I will ever be able to take her home. And since I've been at Blythedale, it's amazing. Now I get excited. She's gonna be going home in a couple weeks. And it's exciting because it's what they teach me. If they didn't teach me this stuff, I wouldn't be able to take her home. Where would we be without Blythedale?
The dreamer